Hey everyone, it's Jack. Put on your tinfoil hats and let's talk Drag Race conspiracy theories. Whether it's been a popular rumor online, something that is just a gut feeling to you, or something that you just want to believe because it's stupid, conspiracy theories in reality TV shows are always really fun to speculate because sometimes they end up being true. Or just with the speculation, it feels like you have some insider knowledge even if you're completely off base, it feels like you know the tea. So I asked viewers on my community tab to submit Drag Race conspiracy theories that they completely believe, and I got a lot of diverse answers. World of Wonder, please don't get mad at me. This is all for fun. This is all speculation. I'm going to talk you guys up a decent amount in this video actually. So let's jump into it. Starting off with a pretty popular one, Deja Sky Lip Sync to Levitating by Dula Peep on either the Snatch Game or the Lollapalooza episode. Because Deja was the only queen to do good in Snatch Game and the only queen to not have to lip sync in the Lollapalooza, Rue made her lip sync to Levitating just for the fun of it. But for one reason or another, they cut it out. My thoughts are probably they cut it out just because they didn't have the time, or maybe it slowed down the pacing of the episode. Something similar like Silky's lip sync where she performed solo, that still pushed the storyline of the episode forward. While here, if we were to see Deja lip sync alone, it kind of detracts from the whole dramatic thing they were going for. Do I believe that this lip sync is real? Yes, 1000%, because I've actually heard Deja say it herself. They're doing season 2 of Bring Back My Girls. They filmed it all at DragCon last year, and during the season 14 panel, Deja actually confirmed this lip sync. I don't know if it's actually going to make the episode, but they did let her talk about it, and it's a very inconsequential thing for her to reveal. So I would love to see this lip sync one day, but in general, this conspiracy theory is actually true. Sister Sister copied Ahora's Seaside Runway. Every time I watch this episode back, I always forget about this drama, but I enjoy it every single time it happens. For those who don't know, UK Series 2 was filming, but then had to stop for lockdown, and it gave the queens a couple months to redo their looks if they really wanted to. Financially, a lot of the queens couldn't, but they still got critiqued for not updating their runways. That's a whole nother video. But a queen who did update at least one runway was Sister Sister, who made a look very similar to Ahora's. Before Sister had this look, she had a different look inspired by Pamela Anderson that she had with her in the workroom before they left. And now, for some reason, it's a completely different look, very similar to another contestant's. I definitely think this theory is plausible, but also logically, I don't know if she would actually do it. Hands down, I think Ahora's look was one of the most creative of the night, and it makes sense why Sister would want to copy it because it's a really fun concept. But playing devil's advocate and talking from Sister's side, I don't think it would be smart for her to create a look very similar to someone else in the competition, especially someone known for their fashion. And we basically saw this play out in the episode. They compared both of the looks and said that Ahora's was just made better. I don't think Sister's was bad by any means, but personally, I would never want to try and recreate a look from someone else in the competition. It just leads to comparison, and a lot of the time you'll just shoot yourself in the foot. So that's my reasoning for why Sister Sister potentially didn't do it on purpose, but I mean, the looks are so similar. She had another look. I can totally believe that she actually did do it. I love drama like this on Drag Race because it feels so big in the moment for all of the queens, but it doesn't really have any lasting effects.
Yeah, baby girl, we'll get onto inspiration because I swear to God it didn't come from you.
Bullshit, sister. Bullshit!
Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 100k by the end of the year, and with your help, I could totally do that. Majority of you guys aren't subscribed, so I would just love to have you here. This one was a really popular one, and I've talked about it before actually. Monet was paid to throw the Into You lip sync, and she also threw the Come Rain or Come Shine lip sync just for her own personal reasons. I've said it before, I think Monet is one of the best lip syncers that we've gotten from the show. I think she can turn out basically any song and make it her own, but these two lip syncs in particular, I can definitely see that she wasn't going her hardest. I don't think her lip sync versus Valentina was bad. I think she had a lot of little funny moments, like when she opened her legs. I thought her split was great, but compared to everything that Valentina was doing, it didn't seem like she was trying to keep up with her in that way. She did enough to put up an okay fight, but there was no way that she was gonna win over what Valentina was doing. So a lot of the fans like me who are big fans of Monet's lip syncing get a little confused because we're like, wow, how is it such a wash? So fans tend to believe that the producers or Valentina herself paid off Monet in order for Valentina to win the lip sync. Why would they pay her off for Valentina to win this specific lip sync? Oh, it's an Ariana Grande song and Pheromone is in the bottom. They basically killed two birds with one stone, where Valentina gets her Ariana Grande redemption and also kind of caps off the storyline with Farrah. Although it was pretty coincidental that they had an Ariana Grande song for the week that Valentina was in the top, Valentina turned the lip sync, and basically the whole episode in general, this verse is one of my favorite of all time. I think the producers producers saw an opportunity and ran with it to redeem Valentina completely, and I think Monet could have played a part in that, but I'm not completely sure. Maybe Monet just didn't vibe with the song, or she knew she was already going to lose, so she didn't really try as hard, or maybe she did give a great performance, but they just cut away from all of her best moments. We know the editors are capable of doing that with Monet. But as for the Come Rain or Come Shine lip sync, yeah, she threw that. She completely threw that without a doubt in my mind. She picked Manila's lipstick along with Naomi, but I don't think she wanted the fan backlash that Naomi got. If it came down to it, she would have done it, but she tried in all her might to just pass the power on to someone else. She was very stationary in the lip sync and had the one umbrella trick at the end, and though she was emoting a good amount, I mean, Naomi was just doing the most and was doing it so well. I just come to expect amazing performances from Monet, so when we see something kind of out of the ordinary for her, we start to think, what's up? These are definitely plausible, and I do think they could be true. And in general, I think it was for the greater good. Both of her opponents in these lip syncs gave some of the best performances of all time. To test the waters and see fan reception, the producers will take a candidate for a future AllStars season and put them on the pit stop or as a lip sync assassin. I think it's very safe to say that this one is all but confirmed. Jessica Wilde has had a lot of early fan support for a long time to get her back on AllStars, but a lot of the newer fans didn't know who she was. But suddenly, she was a lip sync assassin on season 6 after only lip syncing once or twice in season 2, I can't remember exactly. She won the lip sync, was able to introduce herself to a new generation of fans, and people started to like her or at least know about her. And now suddenly she's on AllStars 8, the next season that she could be on. And since the season, she is now one of the most beloved in the franchise, and I'm so happy because I can never get enough Jessica Wilde. And I think we could have seen something similar like Laganja too, who got one of the best redemptions of all time in just a singular episode. There's no doubt in my mind that she was asked for AllStars 8, but she didn't say yes for one reason or another. Finally, in season 14, we saw the Save a Queen challenge where James Mansfield appeared, and lo and behold, she's on AllStars 8. I think these appearances are so extremely smart. They throw an older queen in or a queen who didn't get a lot of screen time just to see how the viewers are going to react. If it's positive, they get invited back, or if it's negative or meh, they just kind of quietly move on. It's super low stakes, super smart of them to do. I definitely believe this one is true. Latrilla were meant to be the double winners of season 4, that's why 200k was given away. This one's been a popular theory for a really long time because they came in together, they're both really popular in the community, and obviously AllStars 4 ended in a double win. But for a couple of reasons, they didn't end up in the finale, but we still got the double crowning. And I just don't know if I completely believe this one. If they had a double crowning in mind for 2 other queens, why wouldn't they film one for Monet and Trinity? Even if it were to get leaked as a potential ending, I still think it would have gone over better if they actually filmed an actual ending where there was a double crowning. And if it was their plan from the start to do a double crowning, of course they would have filmed it. I think the double crowning really wasn't planned before this. I still need to do a video on AllStars 4 where I will talk about this. This theory makes a lot of sense, but just with how everything ended up, I personally don't believe it. But I do want to throw in a side theory based off of this theory, that being I don't think they're ever going to do a double crowning again. With how poorly this went over in the fandom, I think they're trying to avoid it at all costs, even though there's been some cases where I think a lot of people would have been happy with a double crowning. A couple come to mind, a lot of them in the UK, like Bimini and Lawrence or Cheddar and Danny. It would have been awesome to see a double crowning with them. But aside from the backlash from the fandom, I think having multiple seasons where they do double crownings, it just probably wouldn't look very good on the competition side of things because it kind of is a cop-out every single time. Even if both queens do deserve to win in their own way, having multiple seasons where queens are both given the win kind of lessens the point of the competition. Production pushed Raja to win the She Done Already Done Has Hers is SmackDown, that is hard to say, as a pseudo apology for not making top 4. I saw this comment in a couple different forums. I kind of agree with it because I feel like they wanted to reward Raja in some way because she is just such a pillar in the drag scene. And after watching the season back recently, though I think Jinx did really well, Monet did really well, so many of the queens did great, I think Raja was the standout for me. And I think she was the focal point for a lot of the season with her runways and her performances, so it is pretty surprising that she didn't make top 4. So having this side tournament and her winning $50,000, it feels really good and it feels like she's walking away with a lot even though she didn't make the top 4. And I think that's where some people run into a little bit of a problem because everyone kind of walked away happy with Raja winning the money. But as for the lip sync against Evie, myself and a lot of other fans think that Evie did win that. I love the tricks that Evie did, the wig reveal was insane, and Raja did good, but I had my eye on Evie basically the whole time. So when Raja was announced as the winner at the end, it was surprising, but then you think about her performance over the whole season and it makes more sense. It It felt like a formality, much like how the top 4 lip syncs felt like a formality just to get to the winners. And in the end, I think that's okay. It's just not the clearest path to the end. Raja got the check, and I think Evie just deserved better in general on the season. Certain queens are cast on AllStars to go home first. Unfortunately, I do think there is some truth to this in one way or another. The commenter listed Jasmine, Serena, Monica, and Mariah as examples, but Mariah did so good in the talent show that she was kept around a little longer. I don't really think the producers can bank on a queen bombing in the talent show and being a really easy first out. The queens listed just ended up being that way. There is an argument that Serena didn't deserve a bottom placement, but I feel like it was easier for them to throw her in the bottom because of the main reason I agree with this theory. Like I was saying, I want to give the producers the benefit of the doubt and say that they don't cast anyone to just be a first out, but I think some of the casting choices they make, they have in mind that these queens just aren't as well established and it would be an easy vote for the other queens in the competition. And I think that is what happened with someone like Serena on AllStars 6. Though her talent show wasn't great, I think TKB, love her to death, was by far the worst of the night. But still, we saw basically every queen vote Serena out because she just didn't have as much to show on her original season as TKB did, and that translated over to AllStars as well. If you haven't worked with a lot of the queens outside of the show, your reputation from your original season, no matter how old it is, unfortunately still follows you back to AllStars. So often, a lot of the queens who are early outs are written off, and the second they land into the bottom, it's just a quick, easy choice. You can't really blame the queens on the season for voting this way, and it's not always the reason they vote the way they do. I just think that coming back as an early out, it's always going to be an uphill battle unless you've established yourself in another way, like James Mansfield, for example. But I mean, we can even consider Kylie Sonique Love an early out, and she came back and won the whole thing. So in my mind, the producers cast these queens as wild cards more so than a first out, but because they didn't really do good in their first run, they're an easy choice to eliminate. And finally, Chad was about to die, so RuPaul wanted to make her happy. Thank you all so much for watching. There's definitely a lot more theories that I can do. Comment below your favorite ones. Maybe I haven't seen those ones yet. Definitely gonna do a part 2 because this is really interesting. I started recording this one day and then had to finish later. There's a lot of construction going on inside my apartment right now. It's been really frustrating having to work around it. I just started school again, so it's been really hard to find the time to make videos, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support. The fact that I can leave for 2.5 weeks and come back and still be chilling, I really cannot thank you all enough. That's about it. I'll see you soon with another video.